I want you to imagine this. Sarada Uchiha, the girl who once smiled and laughed alongside Boruto and Kawaki, she's now standing face to face with Kawaki. Her eyes, they are blazing with the Mangekyou Sharingan. On one side, she has a love for Boruto, a love that's so strong that it is currently rewriting her destiny. On the other, her hatred for Kawaki, the boy who stole Boruto's life and lied about Naruto's death for 3 years and blamed Boruto for that death. If these two clash, it won't be just another battle in the Boruto story. It will be a war between love and obsession, between the true meaning of Naruto's will of fire and the twisted imitation of it, the twisted worship of it. Today, we're going to be breaking down why Sarada's confession of love in chapter 25 of Two Blue Vortex might be a key that unlocks a future showdown with Kawaki and why it could be one of the most emotional battles in the entire series itself. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, goes into detail about why that looming Sarada versus Kawaki battle is one you should definitely care about, following that confession of love, and Sumire finding out the truth that Kawaki didn't kill Naruto but still blamed Boruto. Also, the chapter review should be out either tomorrow or the day after this. Suffered a small setback because some crackhead losers broke into my car and tried to steal it, which delayed me from getting the review done, but the editor is working on the review right now to get the quality you guys have been used to, and we're gonna break the rule about dropping the reviews on the day of official release, which is the 20th this month, so heads up in that regard. I want to get ahead of some of the narratives I already see framing, people misinterpreting stuff in the chapter. Also, don't forget to check out my new Gachi Akira video explaining every raider in the series on my Anime Explained channel, which that every raider explained video is safe for anime onlys or people that are curious about the series, which will be linked in the description and in the end credits for those who are curious. So we're going to start with Sarada's confession and how that absolutely changes everything. So Sarada's confession in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 25 is much more than a romantic reveal. She states outright that her love for Boruto, it has made her stronger and is crucial in the world of Naruto when you really think about it. Over and over again, it's been emphasized that shinobi, they draw out their maximum potential when they fight for something precious, whether it's a dream or a village, a ninja way, or if it's for someone that they love and care for. For Sarada, love, it has become an anchor for a character. It's also become an anchor and her weapon. As Uchiha, a clan whose powers have always been tied to the extremes of love or hate, her confession marks a new turning point for her. She's no longer fighting for just her dream of becoming Hokage. She's fighting for Boruto himself. Boruto, the boy she's in love with. That alone makes her far more dangerous than most shinobi her age. Then, when you get into Sumire's revelation, it starts the process of watering the seeds of hatred that are already in Sarada. And that's where it gets messy. In the chapter before this, Kawaki slipped up, revealing that Naruto is still alive. And Sumire, she overheard this. She now holds information that could change everything for Sarada. For 3 long years, Sarada believed Naruto, the man she idolized, was dead. The man she had stated more than once that she wished was her father. And during those 3 years, she also carried the burden of being the only one who remembered Boruto's true identity, a twisted reality of Kawaki's omnipotence. She and Sumire knew the truth, but they couldn't prove otherwise. She already hated Kawaki for what he did to Boruto. Now imagine how she'll feel when she learns that Kawaki also robbed her of the chance to know that Naruto was alive. Let's not forget, Kawaki was already warned by Sarada once. If he ever threatened the village and got out of line, Sarada said she would fight him. She said this in chapter 4 to Blue Vortex, with her confession, with her heart now fully and openly committed to Boruto. And with years of bottled up resentment, Sarada finally has a motivation to make good on that threat should she learn the truth. And remember, she is the daughter of Sasuke and Sakura. Both of her parents, if we're being honest, it wasn't just Sakura who had a hot temper. Sasuke had multiple moments where he absolutely lost it. Sasuke nearly destroyed everything more than once out of rage and obsession. And while Sakura's fury was legendary even amongst her peers, and a lot of it was gag humor, even when it wasn't gag humor, you saw Sakura get pissed off. Sarada carries both of those tempers within her, as well as the fact that both of her parents are extremely stubborn. That is a dangerous combination. If there's anyone in this new generation who could truly snap when they are pushed too far, it would be Sarada. Now, when you look at how their powers clash, let's talk about the actual fight. What would a Sarada versus Kawaki battle even look like? Which, if you want to know how that will work, like all versions of Sarada stacked up against all versions of Kawaki, hit the like button right now and leave that hashtag Sarada versus Kawaki in the comment section. And if we hit 2,000 likes, I will drop everything and I will send that off to one of the best editors I have on the channel that does the reboot videos, and I will have them working on that video. But we got to hit 2,000 likes on that one before, say, the next 2 weeks. So Sarada's greatest weapon right now, it is her Mangekyou Sharingan technique, the Ohirume Jutsu. With this power, we see her create gravitational spears that can pull in objects, crush them with immense force, or cause them to float helplessly in the air. It's one of the most terrifying jutsu we've seen from a young Uchiha. In a way, it kind of reminds you of like a mix between Kamui and the Rinnegan's gravitational powers, only Sarada has her own spin on it. But Kawaki is not just any opponent. He's a literal Otsutsuki vessel. He is Otsutsuki genetically. His physical ability, his chakra, his reflexes, they're all on a different level, especially when using Koma. In an aerial battle, Kawaki might actually have an advantage. He's used to flying in the air. Sarada is only able to float. His mastery of Sukuna Hikona, the ability to shrink both matter and chakra-based techniques as well as himself, makes him in so many ways a direct counter to Sarada's orbs. He, in theory, could shrink her gravity spears before they crush him because they look like they're made out of chakra. If that's the case, then Kawaki could shrink them down. It could potentially turn her trump card into a wasted effort. However, Sarada isn't just raw power. She also has the Sharingan. She has a tactical mind. And with the Mangekyou Sharingan, her basic Sharingan, in particular, the Eye of Hypnotism and the Eye of Insight, both of those are going to be stronger in just the basic Sharingan, as confirmed in Itachi Shingen Book of Midnight. She also has that tactical mind and a fierce determination that has only grown with her confession. If Kawaki does underestimate her, which he will do, if he thinks that Otsutsuki powers are alone enough to be able to carry him, which he will do, he could find himself overwhelmed by a girl who has inherited both her father's genius, her mother's ferocity, and the stubborn nature of both of her parents, as well as Naruto's will of fire. And that brings me to the symbolism of their battle. This potential battle, it isn't just about number crunching and power scaling and carry the 2 and do the 1 and this person swung his penis this way and it blew up 10,000 mountains and this person did what. We don't care about none of that bullshit. Let's make that clear. However, it is a deeply symbolic moment. So Sarada, she idolizes Naruto. She sees his will of fire as the guiding light of her path to becoming Hokage. Kawaki, on the other hand, is obsessed with Naruto. He claims to protect Naruto's ideals, but his vision, it is twisted. It is rooted in fear, obsession, possession, rather than a genuine love and selflessness. That's not to say that he does not love Naruto, because he does. It's just that Kawaki is twisted right now, and due to no fault of his own. It's the nature versus nurture thing. He's been nurtured incorrectly before Naruto got his hands on him. So at the center of all of this, it is Boruto. To Sarada, Boruto is her partner, her love interest that she's chasing after, the person who inspires her to become stronger. To Kawaki, Boruto is a threat to life that he's built for himself as Naruto's true son. Even though he feels guilty, we've seen instances where he does look like he's guilty for having taken Boruto's life. He also has not told people like, yeah fam, you know Naruto's still alive, and yeah fam, I'm really not Naruto's kid. He looks kind of cushy at times, being able to live the life that he secretly wanted. So their fight then, it becomes the ultimate clash of perspectives. Sarada represents Naruto's true legacy of love, connection, sacrifice, and never giving up, making everyone in the village your family. And Kawaki represents a corrupted, possessive imitation of, ironically, the same legacy. Again, it is corrupted. It is love versus obsession. It is a will of fire versus a will of control. It is a future Hokage versus a false protector, which, woo! Think about that for a second, man. Yo, I know I just dropped the ball right there, man. Like, I want you to close your eyes and repeat these lines back to yourself. Close your eyes and imagine. It's a will of fire versus a will of control. Bruh, you can't tell me you didn't hear that and go, hey man, that's kind of hard right there. And it's the same thing with future Hokage versus false protector. Yeah, I know. It's like, yo, why he wanking himself right now? Because I know that was bars right there. Now, let's get to it though. Let's get to it. So why Kawaki versus Sarada does need to happen? Let me step down off the pedestal and get back to the video. So, to be continued. There's another reason why Sarada versus Kawaki feels inevitable. It serves as a inverse of one of the most important moments in Boruto Part 1. So back then, Boruto and Kawaki, they were fighting on the Hokage monument, and in that moment, in that battle, Boruto was moments away from losing his life. Kashin Koji low-key kind of confirms it, that Boruto was going to lose that fight, and so too was Sarada, because she tried to step in, or Sarada stepped in after the fact. But Sarada stepped in, she shot the fireball jutsu, took the heat off of Boruto. Kawaki got focused on her. Boruto got the scar on his eye. She was a shield in that moment, even though it was only briefly. It is proof that someone still believed in Boruto, right before the entire world was about to turn its back on Boruto. But now in part 2, the worlds, they need to be reversed. This time, it needs to be Sarada who stands up to Kawaki from within the village. Kawaki stole Boruto's life, twisted reality with omnipotence, and framed him for Naruto's death. For Sarada to look him in the eye and say, no more, that's not just about personal vengeance. That's embodying the very spirit of the Hokage, the willingness to risk everything by challenging everything that's wrong, even if it means standing alone. Here's the key. Even if she doesn't defeat Kawaki, the fact that she fights him is what makes her worthy of the Hokage title, because Hokage isn't just about power, it's about moral fiber. It's about the courage to confront injustice. That is real leadership, and that is the strength that ultimately allows you to inspire others. By doing what no one else is doing, which is challenge Kawaki's lies and obsession, which she's been doing consistently for 3 years with Sumire at her side, passing out photos of baby Boruto. If she directly steps up and confronts Kawaki, she proves she has what it takes to carry on Naruto's will of fire, be the true successor to Naruto as Hokage, since Shikamaru has not officially accepted the title in the form of doing the Hokage ceremony. So this could set the stage for some real Sarada greatness. If Sarada and Kawaki ever do fight, it won't just be another shinobi battle. It will be personal, it will be emotional, and it could change the future of the ninja world forever. Sarada's love for Boruto has already made her stronger. Kawaki's obsession with Naruto has already made him more dangerous, made him less predictable. But when love and obsession finally collide, one thing is certain: Boruto is gonna be at the heart of the very battle itself. So the real question is, when that day does inevitably come, will Sarada's love burn brighter than Kawaki's obsession, or will the Uchiha's curse of hatred consume her in the process? Because Madara did tell us, love does very quickly turn into hate. Sarada is walking a thin line, learning the truth about what Kawaki did to Boruto in terms of framing him for Naruto's murder. That could very easily tip her over into further into the hatred side. Let me know down in the comment section, do you think that Sarada will eventually battle Kawaki? And if she does, who do you think wins that battle? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click here to check out the Gachiakia video that I was talking about earlier, or click here to check out these Naruto Explained videos.